Nick, we got to talk about it.
Oh, we've been talking about it, but now we got to really talk about it.
Like we've talked about it, but I would say we've not talked about it a ton. Just like little bits and pieces here and there.
Well, we didn't have the 10,000 things we need to talk about then. Now we do.
I don't even know that we've got it, all of it. We're just scratching the surface. For anyone that doesn't know, we just got back from our trip. Today is September the 8th. You're probably going to be a little confused because there's another episode between this one and I guess this one would be a week and some change after we came back.
Yes, 2 weeks out from that, I think it will be.
But you got to figure, we did this trip literally yesterday, September the 7th is when we got back. But I wanted to do a podcast today so everything's fresh in our mind, because if we wait a couple weeks, we're going to forget some stuff.
Well, technically, you got back the 7th. I got back this day.
Yeah, Nick got back today. Listen, he had a little bit rougher.
I'm not going to stand up. I'm in my PJs right now. I haven't
been on sleep mode.
Yeah, I've been sleeping until about an hour before we come on here. So
I feel you. Oh, sorry. That was totally my phone that buzzed right there. I apologize.
That's okay.
I forgot to turn, of all the things, I forgot to turn that off. So interestingly enough, we set up, for those of you that don't know, we were supposed to go on this haunting adventure. That's what I'm going to call this.
Yeah. 2-day whirlwind tour.
Yes. Day one, Hinsdale, which is in Salamanca, New York, as some would say. And the second location was with the Wildwood Sanitarium.
Also in Salamanca, New York.
I always sit there and I go, is it a sanitarium or sanatorium? But we discovered what the difference was.
Yeah, and this one, at least on the metal sign, is sanitarium. So
sanitarium, yes.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, Nick could not make the first day.
Do you want me to tell my ordeals? Is this the time for that?
Tell the folks a little bit like a synopsis version.
Okay, so I'll make it short and bittersweet, I guess. So we were doing a 2-day whirlwind tour of these places that were pretty close together in Salamanca, New York. So I had to get things ready in a certain order because I didn't have my passport. The last time I went to New York, I didn't need one. So because things needed to be done in a certain order, I had to book my flight the day before I went to see if I could get the passport in time.
Tricky.
So Bert and I were up like the night before. I had him verify all the details and then I pressed go. And so I ordered the flight and it's like, you have 23 hours to cancel this. Like I wasn't going to pay another $300-400 to have a cancelable flight. So I had to take a little risk. So I zoomed up to Halifax, which on a good day is 3.5 hours away. Went to the passport office. They said, it's good. We'll have it by the 3rd or at latest the 4th, probably. But you know what? That was good enough for me. So I'm like, I pretty much got it. Now, my friends in Halifax went and picked up my passport on the 3rd, so I knew that they had it in hand. So I zoomed up on the evening of the 4th to get the passport, and I was going to stay overnight there. And at 3 a.m. is when I had to I had to wake up to go for my flight. So I stay overnight there. Now it's the apartment building that my friends lived in is a beautiful, beautiful place, but without the heat on, it's 1,000,000 degrees.
Oh God.
So they're kind of used to it. They find it hot, but I was like sweating my butt off. So I got about.
Nick lost a little weight.
I could use it. I got to keep doing these trips, I guess. But yeah, so I got about an hour and a half to 2 hours sleep that night. Woke up, looked at my phone, flight canceled. I'm like, what? Canceled? That's not even a delay. That's canceled.
Now, everyone at home, you have to understand, we're supposed to be there on the 5th.
Right. at noon, or I'm supposed to fly in at noon and we're supposed to be there around 1 something.
Yeah.
So they canceled it and rebooked it, and it was the exact same time and the same itinerary. So I'm like, well, what does this even mean? Did they just put me on another flight? So I'm looking at it, and the date is the following day. So
on the 6th.
Right. So I completely missed out on Hinsdale, which I'm not going to say anything, but it made me extra mad hearing what Bert told me about what went on there. I thought, well, I've missed the whole darn thing. Like, there's no way we're going to get anything better than that. And they're like, well, you can get a full refund and cancel if you want to, or you can take this later flight the next day. So I thought about it, and I'm like, I can't miss out on an experience like this. So I'm going to go the next day. I'm like, sorry, Bert, can't make it to that one. How far is that? How far is the Wildwood from the airport? And he's like, oh, roughly the same amount.
Yep, it was.
Roughly the same amount. Because these are kind of close together, and that's some theory I want to talk about later as well. But so I sleep the next night for maybe an hour. I kept opening my eyes and watching, like 3-4 minutes had gone by each time. I get up at 3 again, and I'm like, if you send me a message today, I'm going to flip. So nope, no message. So I get out there. So now I'm on two nights with a total of maybe 3-4 hours sleep total. I get to the airport. I go through all the customs. I'd done all the apps to get through it really quick. So I went to the headline of everything. So that's great. Get on my first flight, which takes me into LaGuardia in New York. Mm-hmm. Then I have a 4.5 hour layover, which that airport is beautiful, by the way.
It is
beautiful. We're right out on the bay. You can see people in dragon boats and stuff. Loved it. Didn't love it 4.5 hours that much, maybe, but
not that long.
No. So I get in there and I'm like, well, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. All this stuff. I had taken out just a bunch of American money, went to the bank and got your money, which is very interesting. Different from ours, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I start going around places and they're like, no cash. You can pay with your credit card there. There's literally no one to help you. There's like no cashiers. So none of that. And I'm like, I really, really want, I hadn't had one in more than a decade, a slice of New York pizza. Now, just to tell anyone who's never had it, if you have New York pizza, it ruins all other pizza for you. I think it was like 2 years after my last trip before I had pizza again, other than like grabbing a slice at a party or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I couldn't get it. I got to find a way to get it on my way back, even if I have to leave the airport. So catch my next flight 4.5 hours later, get into Buffalo, and Bert picks me up. This is our first in-person meeting, which was really cool.
Which was super cool.
Yeah, super cool. And we head out, and it's only like, what was it, an hour and something?
I think it was an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes away. Then all kinds of stuff happens. I'm going to skip that for now. I get back to the airport. I get through there. I found out one of my credit cards was issued in America, so I was able to get my slice. Amazing. Every time I think about pizza now, I'm like, gross. I only want American New York pizza.
Did it ruin it for you again?
It did. I can't. Like I
no
had to get
Canadian pizza.
I had to get something. Not only no Canadian pizza. Sorry, Salamanca, your pizza is not anywhere close.
Heard it here,
New
folks.
York pizza. I'm very sorry. It was good.
Heard it here first.
It did the trick, but it's not like New York owns pizza as far as I'm concerned. I've never been to Italy, but so far as I know, New York owns pizza.
I can tell you, I've had one Italian pizza and it was delicious. Right. So if it's better than that, that's strong.
I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I know it's so different from every other pizza I've ever had that to call it should have its own name. You know what I mean? It's so different. It's like if you ate a peanut butter cup and then said, well, I know what a hamburger tastes like now. That's the difference between these. So good.
Vastly different. You know, the funny thing that Nick left out of that entire story is he's getting this information at 2 something. I'm trying to finish my podcast, so I'm running super late. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I got to finish my podcast, try to get to bed at a decent hour. I knew I had to get up the next morning at like 7:30, or I'm sorry, 7 o'clock, be ready to load everything that I've not loaded into the car by 7:30, and then leave the house by 8.
Right.
To go catch up with Nick.
Just to interject, it takes 3 people about an hour to load up all Bert's gear.
So much.
Like it's a lot of stuff. Like, this is science.
It's honestly probably the most I've been preparing this trip for like a year. Because we booked it the beginning of September, and that's when I started technically buying stuff right before then. So a little over a year. But then Nick hits me up in Discord and he goes, problem.
Yeah.
like problem.
Big problem.
And then he told me, and he came to that pivotal point where he said, do you think it would be worth it to go if it's just one day? And I said, I can't make that decision for you.
You should have just said, hell yeah.
And then he said, you know, I think I'm just going to do it, and we're going to roll it. So since Nick wasn't going to be there, I'm like, because what my thought was, I was going to pick him up at 1, we'll grab a bite to eat, and then we'll be at the house at like 4-ish is what I thought. So I hit up Dan, the owner of the Hinsdale House, and I'm like, hey, I really want to get in there by like 5. That'll give me enough time to get some drone footage and everything else. Like, I had all my batteries charged. I was ready to go. But with not having to pick up Nick, I was technically saving an hour up and an hour down. So I was saving 2 hours. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just leave instead of at 8 at 10. And that will give me more than enough time to get there by 5 o'clock, and we'll be good. So the first night, not having Nick there, was literally just Jess and I. And I didn't know what to expect. I knew that my science of how to do things was going to result in one of 2 things. The first one is I get absolutely nothing but a cool experience. Or 2, we would get something really cool.
Right.
And I'll be honest, we had 2 huge totes, and then what I would call a almost large tote. And it was literally full from the bottom to the lid.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of loose stuff too that doesn't even go in the totes. So
lots of loose stuff. And we implemented old technology and new technology, some stuff that's pseudoscience.
Yeah.
Well, some people would consider pseudoscience. I consider, like, let's use, for example, cat toys is probably like, if you're in paranormal and you got cat toys, they go, that's not a real paranormal investigator. That's someone who's playing a paranormal investigator on TV. And we're going to talk about a cat toy here in a little bit. But for me, I'm like, let me just use everything that's out on the market within reason and try to, if anything, debunk it. Like, if it doesn't work and I can prove it doesn't work, that's almost as good as proving that it does work.
Yeah. I think the cat toys were actually valuable. Because there's nothing, like, all they're doing is sensing like a fairly significant amount of movement. There's nothing like pseudoscience about that. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, but I think what people, moving my mic, I'm sorry. I think what people say is that because could be set off so easily.
Right.
That, you know, anything can cause it. It's kind of like, I'll use a few examples. When we got to the Hinsdale House, it was just Jess and I, and we had the entire spot from 5 o'clock in the evening until 10 o'clock the next morning. So my first idea, because the sun starts going down a little bit after 7 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I've got to get everything up. I've got to get a drone in the air. And it's crunch time.
Right.
So we ended up getting there at like 5:15. And when we got there and we pulled in, the woman was already there. I was like, okay, well, she's already there. Let's get it set up. I have to sign waivers once I got there and everything's good to go, yada, yada. So she kind of walks through, gives us a little bit of history on the house. Now, the cool thing is, and a lot of people asked, not necessarily asked, but they said, we want to know what happens. And I'm like, I know if I get something cool, everyone's going to think we faked it. So I bought a body cam and I put that body cam on. And from the moment I walked in that house until the moment I walked out of that house, I had a body cam on, with the exception when I was sleeping. Because I'm not going to get up to change the batteries. And 2, the only other time is like if I was going to the bathroom, because honestly, I don't want a video of that. Just putting that out there.
We're a non-explicit channel, so we can't
exactly
have that kind of business going on.
Exactly. So we went in, signed the waivers. Woman kind of gave a cool history of some stuff. Her name was Tiffany from the Hinsdale House. Did an amazing job. And it's cool to have the body cam because now I can kind of go back and understand some of that history, and I can put it in our production video of this a little bit later.
Yeah.
But once she was done, I'm like, okay, it's chop time. I got to get 8 static cameras up because if something happens, I want to capture it right away.
Right. And on both places, we had them going all night, by the way. So there's a lot of footage here.
A lot of footage. So I ended up putting them, I think I put 3/4 of them up, and I'm like, I got to get a drone in the air, because if I don't get a drone in the air, I could potentially miss this because the sun is going down quick.
Yeah.
Get the drone out, take it outside, start the remote starts right up. I'm like, good to go. Click on the drone. Beep, 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 beep. Dead battery. Now everyone's going, Bert, why didn't you charge your drone? It was charged. It was completely charged. I have no clue what happened. Not saying that a ghost did it.
Yeah.
Could have drained on its own.
It's possible.
Could be that when I unhooked it, it said that it was charged, but it wasn't charged.
Yeah.
I can't speak for what happened, but all I know is when I got it out of the package, it was dead. There was
do you store a battery in the drone, or do you store it separate?
In the drone. So it was in the drone.
That could be something was like draining it somehow.
Here's what's interesting. So I brought it back home because I was going to pull the footage off of it.
Yep.
Turned it on, just see what the battery was, because we used it the entire time. I didn't charge it.
Yep.
Still had half a battery.
It's weird, man. That is weird.
So again, I'm not saying that was paranormal. I'm just saying that's what happened. So unfortunately for the Hinsdale House, there's no drone footage like I wanted. Because the next day when I got up, I'm like, shoot, I missed it. I'll recharge it overnight, take a drone over the next morning, and then it rained. And I'm like, can't send a drone up in the air and rain, folks.
No. Good way to lose a drone.
Yeah. And I was like, shoot. So whatever. So, but I did get some B-roll of the house. There's some different footage of it, but I'm like, I'm probably not going to do, because what I was going to do was a video on the Hinsdale, video on the Wildwood, 2 separate videos. But now I'm like, with Nick not being here, maybe I'll just do one video of both. And I'll try to include different footage from both, so you're not watching the same video twice.
Right.
Now, the core things that we'll probably talk a little bit about today, that'll be in both videos, because those are big deals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that.
But
been talking about it all day as soon as I woke up with people, so
it's nuts. Just so everyone knows, this footage will probably put us on the map of paranormal.
Well, we're hoping so. I've never seen anything like it.
Neither have I.
And we've only seen probably 1% of it. So
I probably somewhere in there, probably.
Yeah.
But we got to the Hinsdale House, and we ended up, Jess and I ended up meeting Paul Kenyon, who was there for the exorcism that happened in the 70s.
Real sad about that, because I've watched your interview with Paul, And he is so freaking likable that I wanted to talk to him so bad.
It was the coolest experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I talked to him here and there, like here recently, probably maybe once every month or so. There for a long time, I was talking to him every day or every other day.
Yeah.
But he surprised me and he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had an opportunity to talk, chit chat about stuff. He looked at the equipment. He's like, man, you got a lot of stuff here. I'm like, yeah, I got a decent amount. And I was implementing some things that he, from his own admission, is not necessarily a big fan of. But he was open. He was open to it.
Right.
And I told him, I said, I'm implementing a lot of things not from a single source point. So by that, what I mean is, let's use a cat toy as a prime example.
Yeah.
If the only thing I had was a cat toy.
Right.
That then the light went off and I said, that's paranormal.
Is it going to offend anyone if I talk about the things that I am not a fan of?
No, I don't think so.
Because I think the cat toys got a very logical place in this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the bell.
The dead bell?
I found it just was annoying me more than actually doing anything.
Yeah. Sure.
And I'm like, if it was just a bell on its own, just like a door, like a hotel bell, I'd probably be more cool with it. But I don't know what's going on in the thing beneath it. So
for sure.
It's just like those digital spirit boxes.
Yep.
I've been on some investigations just as a guest with some other people, and they're like that thing will talk consistently all the time. You could put it in the church, you could put it in the middle of the road, you could put it anywhere. It's just going to talk.
Yeah.
Now that's the digital version. The analog version is freaky awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm not a fan of the bell, but I'm on the record that I think there is a place for the cat toy thing. In fact, I took one with me.
There it is. Nick has one. It's funny because I think if you was at the Hinsdale the first night and you saw the actual bell working, you'd have a different perspective. And I think even once you see the video that's going to come from it, you're going to go, okay, well, maybe there's something to the bell.
Yeah. And I mean, it could just be that it really wasn't doing anything for us in that particular thing.
We didn't really give it a chance, though. That's the thing.
No, it wasn't really with us in the first room. It wasn't with us
when we went downstairs to the basement. That's the only time we used it.
Right.
So we didn't really get an opportunity. But like at the Hinsdale house, here's a prime example. I ended up setting up the bell and Paul was kind of skeptical of it. Now, what we implemented, which is different than any other paranormal team that I've seen. Most paranormal teams, they've got the freaking EMF detector that's got the 5 lights.
Yeah.
And it's either yellow, orange, orange, red, or green, whatever the lights are.
Right.
Mine is precise. And it's a digital readout and it shows you exactly how much of something it is. Now it does have colors similar to those EMF detectors. There's orange or what is it? Yellow? I think it's yellow or green. It's green, orange, and then red.
Right.
But it does it to the decimal point. So let's use for example, but it also doesn't just do EMF. Everyone I know is EMF. I was using EMF radiation frequency.
Yeah, rads. Yeah. Now that thing was absolutely indispensable because I feel like we were told in advance what parts were the most active and stuff like that. Yes. But I think through our investigation, we could almost trace a path that things are going from location to location. We found some places that are supposedly highly active.
Yeah.
Wasn't for us.
And maybe that was just us.
Yeah. It could just be that time.
Yeah.
Or what have you. But I think with the precision of that, we could actually see a path that was commonly used through the house.
Yes.
That sort of lined up a little bit with what we were told, but I think there's more to it that we sort of saw in the evidence than
and that's the thing. That's the thing. All these groups are just using EMF. I don't see anyone using EMF radiation.
Right.
But Some will call it pseudoscience, and I'm fine with pseudoscience. I'm fine with that.
Everything is pseudoscience until it becomes a science. That's the thing.
Well, and pseudoscience says that if there is radiation that's coming from an EMF field, and everyone goes, what do you mean by like radiation to EMF? Like, let's use, for example, 5G. It's an EMF radiation. Your microwave, electrical magnetic field radiation. That's what it is. I can put this meter next to my microwave, turn it on, and it'll spike into the red, but the very bottom of the red. On our trip, I saw stuff much higher.
Way higher than that. Yeah.
Way higher.
The funny thing was, and I'm still not going to talk about this yet, because I think you need to cover the Hinsdale House first.
Yep.
But so there's two parts of this story. There's us, me and Bert, and then there's Jess in the control room.
Yes.
And we're seeing some crazy stuff that we're measuring on all of these instruments. And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty cool, but it could be a coincidence. And then the second part comes into play. And then when we compare the two, it's actually touching each of these things. So that's all I'll say about that right now.
Well, it was kind of the same way at the Hinsdale House.
Right.
Like the bell, the dead bell, like what you're talking about. When I first walked through the house, I can't remember who told me. It could have been Wyatt Riot. I don't know. Or is it his name Wyatt or Wyatt Riot? I can't remember. Anyway, he may have been the person that said, take a reading of the house as you're going through it. The Hinsdale House was extremely low in everything. And I got video of me going through the house going, yeah, there's no spikes. There's nothing. And I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed because when I walked through and I saw no spikes anywhere, I'm like, oh crap, we're not going to get anything.
This is what I expect. This is my expectation entering these places.
See, I didn't expect that. And the reason why is I thought if it's a spike, one of two things in my mind, if there's a spike, there's a ghost or something paranormal or not paranormal, something explainable that's not paranormal. Right.
Right.
When I'm walking through this thing and I'm laying it on lamps, I'm laying it on electrical outlets and it's not even registering hardly at all.
Right.
I go, this is not good. Got everything set up. I didn't feel weird in the Hinsdale House. It felt like an old farmhouse. I didn't even think anything about it. And then Paul got there. He's looking at everything. I'm talking to Tina. Tina came with Paul and Sophia came with Paul. And I was showing Tina, because she's used to the EMF that has the 5 lights. And she goes, I can always get reaction from whatever's here. It's always a good thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. That's cool. And here is my device. It's more precise. And when I told Paul goes, yeah, it's more precise. We'll see what she really gets. And I didn't think anything else out of it.
Right.
And in the other room, as I'm talking to Paul and I'm setting stuff up, I'm hearing it because typically it goes beep, 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 beep. Like that's the noise it makes. When it starts getting like more active, it'll go like beep, 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 beep. Like when it's that tone, it's high.
Yeah.
Now I gave it to her in EMF first. And I'm like, because I didn't even try the radiation. This is just simply EMF. And I started hearing that and I'm like, that's weird. Cause I walked this entire house and nothing was happening.
Right.
And I go in there. She's like, touch my hand, do this, do that. And I'm like, all right, like what's going on here? Like something's, cause even skeptical me's like,
right.
How do I know how is she doing this? I'm not saying that I thought she was doing something fictitious, but I'm like, if I can disprove this now,
right. Get it out of the way.
Just get out of the way. So I said, hey, let me see the meter real quick. And I flipped it to radiation because I'm like, EMF you can get from everywhere, but the radiation, that's going to be like radio frequencies and stuff like that. Right. So if she's got something that's setting it off on an EMF,
right.
The radiation
accidentally, of course.
Accidentally,
of course.
Like it could be like an e-cig or something like that. Right, anything that could potentially cause it to go off. And I don't know what she's got on her. I put on radiation and nothing. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So I go back and I'm talking to Paul. I'm having him sign my book and stuff. And then I hear, I go, okay, well, that's something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go back in. She's still communicating with whatever this is. And she's like, I miss you guys. And I'm sorry I haven't been here very long. And this thing starts going nuts. We're talking 10 and 12 and 13 and 15. And I'm like, that is crazy. I've not seen it do that. So at this point, it went from the standard color, whatever it is, green, yellow, I can't remember, to now it's sitting in the orange.
Yeah.
And it's constant. And I'm like, all right, unless she has a radio tower in her pocket, like that's not happening. Like you can do it with your cell phone, but your cell phone has to be near it.
Yeah. It has to be communicating.
Correct. You have to be either on the phone or you have to be receiving or sending something that is then being transmitted to a tower.
Yeah. Now it's always doing that, but from like the tests when I was at the Wildwood, if you're not actively doing something, it isn't really reading it. And even when you are, unless it's right next to it,
right,
like almost touching it, it's not getting up into the higher.
Correct. It's staying in the lower numbers. Yeah.
Right. But we were paying attention to that kind of thing.
Correct.
So, yeah.
So it's starting to climb and I'm like, there's something to this. Like that's a little different. Yeah. So Paul ends up going live and I'm like, I still got a couple things I got to do. So I'm going to go set some stuff up and I'm still pulling stuff out of the boxes because it's just me on this first day, just Jess and I.
And it takes a long time. Don't be fooled if you think you're going to go into one of these with that kind of gear and that you're going to do it quickly. Go hours early.
I assumed it would take an hour. And I was wrong.
Right.
Because it takes more than an hour. If you're setting up static cams and trying to get the right shot.
Even with all of us doing it, it took longer than an
hour. Yeah. It's probably like an hour and a half, probably.
Yeah. It's a lot because you can't just throw it in a room and like you need to, because you only got so many and some of these places are big. So you got to cover, should I shoot this through here to get this doorway into the hall? And,
right.
In the stairway, can I get both up and down from this angle? All that kind of stuff.
Correct. So there's a science to it. It's a little tricky. So I'm setting stuff up and Paul ends up going live on his Facebook and he goes in there and he's talking to his stream about how the radiation is going off with Tina and stuff. And everyone's super impressed. I'm like, let me just put this dead bell out. Maybe he'll find that entertaining. And I put the bell out and he's absolutely shocked. He's like, okay, that's a bell. As I'm talking to Tina about the radiation, though, we had not employed the bell just yet. And now I can reveal what we're doing because I've done it first of all the people I know.
Right.
We are using a new device that I don't see most paranormal channels using, which is an EMF pump.
Absolute believer in this tool.
Me too.
Absolute.
I had seen one team use it and they got a decent amount of things from it. And I'm like, it's not like a pseudoscience from everyone's perspective, but from my perspective, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's commonly known that when there's activity like this, that there seems to be higher EMF readings.
Right.
So I think it's a logical jump from higher EMF maybe is not only caused by this, but can assist in it. So having an EMF pump, I think, sort of feeds into it like a battery.
Right. Exactly. So I'm pumping all this energy, and the way these boxes work is a perfect orb of energies around it. So 3 foot, foot and a half down, foot and a half up, foot and a half to the left and right, and all the way around a perfect circle. So think of like a orb of energy about 3 foot all the way around this box. So what I was doing for the most part is implementing it on a table or something with the exception of the Wildwood. And what my thought was is it's 3 foot. At the Wildwood, there's some spots where I just put it on the floor. So really it's only a foot and a half of energy, but it's still coned. But I'm like, if they're pulling energy, it doesn't probably matter. But At the Hinsdale, I put 2 of them on a table. So what my thought is, that's in essence 6 foot of energy. And I'm talking to Tina about the radiation device, and Paul comes in, my wife comes in, they're talking. I turn around, I'm explaining the EMF pump to Paul. I'm like, hey, this is what this is what it does. And he goes, oh, that seems super cool. And all of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I see the box move. I turn my head, I go to grab it, and I watch it get tilted and then thrown on the floor. Like knocked off.
I saw the video of that. That was pretty interesting.
And I looked at it and I'm like, there's no way I just saw that happen.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I don't know how it got to the edge of the table, but I thought it was odd. But I was talking to Paul and I'm like, did maybe someone bump the table? But even then I'm like, would it move it if they bump the table to the point to where it'd fall off? And I didn't remember seeing Paul or my wife or anyone else bump the table. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I go back and I watch the video. Nobody touched that table. Nobody.
Right. Now I've only seen the video, but one thing I noticed is, so this thing does vibrate. So on a very slick surface, it could. However, what happened in the video is the laser array moved.
Correct.
So something was passing in front, but also it was lifted up and off. Like
correct.
If you was just doing it, it would slide over the edge and then tip. This one lifted up and then off.
Correct.
Which was interesting.
If it was vibrating, it would stay pretty solid and then it would just tilt over the edge. Yeah. This, when you watch it, it's not moving. You see the back end tilt and then you see it go forward and off.
Yeah. Now I wasn't there in person, but the video makes it real clear.
Yeah. So. And for anyone who doesn't know, I had a camera on it, a static camera, and then I was shooting a laser grid. Now in the laser grid, you can see they're like deforming. It's almost like there's something. The best way I can explain it's like in Predator, how the freaking Predator goes invisible and it like, I don't know how to explain it, like diffracts.
Right. Well, it's just choosing an array of lasers, and if anything passes between it, like if it was something visible, it would stop the laser. If it's something that's semi-transparent, it's going to refract the laser a little bit. So you can see the movement in them when that happens. And the main reason I wanted to bring all this up is because anyone who's used one of these boxes will notice that it vibrates. And I just wanted to say we did too.
Right.
But it doesn't lift it.
Correct.
It could potentially slide on a very slick surface like that leather medical table that we put it on.
Yes.
But that's a whole different thing. Yeah.
Right. Now, what's interesting was Paul went in there after that happened and we watched the video and he starts jumping up and down on the floor and he couldn't get it to move.
Right.
Now, I should also mention I had 2 boxes made the same exact way with the same exact everything to them. The second box never moved.
Thank goodness. Because the first one broke when it fell off that table. So
correct. So it's in the arms of an angel, fly away. That box is gone, folks. It's dead meat. But that happened, and I'm like, man, that's wild. Now, Jess had came in right before then, and she was talking about how she and Paul was standing at the table. She had her arms on a kitchen table or on the kitchen chair that was beside the table. And she felt the chair kind of bounce up a little bit once.
Right.
And she just assumed it was Paul's granddaughter that was there. And she didn't say anything. And as she's sitting there or standing there and she's leaning, she's talking to them all of a sudden the kitchen table or the kitchen chair scooted into the table. And we're talking about an inch and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Now you might be saying, how do you know it's an inch and a half? Because I watched it on the video.
Right.
So she was like, did you just do that? And the granddaughter's like, no, my feet are over here. She wasn't touching it. Now, Jess swears up and down that moved on her own. Now, I can tell you the way the way the chair moved doesn't make sense that she would have slid it. That said,
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone's going to debunk it and say she just slid the chair, which is fine.
Right.
The thing I was going to mention about the radiation meter and the power and the dead bell, right?
Mm-hmm.
I use everything to determine if something's legit or not. Paul was very skeptical of that dead bell, much like what you were.
Yeah.
Until multiple things was happening in conjunction with each other.
Right.
So prime example, Tina would walk over with the radiation detector.
Mm-hmm.
She would ask a question and say, ring the bell if the answer is yes.
Right.
The meter on the radiation would climb and then ding.
Mm-hmm.
She would take the radiation device over to the other room. She would ask a question, tell it to ring a bell. Radiation would be spiking. Radiation would go down and then the bell would go ding, which means whatever it was moved from that radiation device across the room to the bell to ding the bell and then go back.
And that, the radiation, the meter that you have is very good for showing that, because we could see that at the Wildwood when things were moving from one area to another.
Correct.
Now, I didn't want to bring too much attention to it at the time because I didn't want Jess to be scared, but my theory is that it was passing through the room that she was in all the time.
So I asked a few people about that.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, there is something that sits, you know how, we'll just jump to the Wildwood at this point. At the Wildwood, how we were on the second floor when we first started. Our command center was on the second floor in the, what do they call that room?
The seance room.
The seance room. So we was in the seance room and we set up the monitor and everything. Zach helped me kind of pick the best location. Thank you, Zach.
Oh, those guys, before we go on, were awesome. Awesome. Super cool guys. I wanted to talk to him more about the horror stuff because I saw his friend had like a Crystal Lake shirt and stuff like that. And they had Art the Clown's autographs and stuff. Super cool guys. Would love to have spent more time with them.
Oh, they were so super cool. And they were so gracious to help us out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like they offered to do all this other stuff. That
brought the totes in.
Yeah, brought the totes in, was showing us how to set up or good places. We didn't want to put them out, but they were going to walk us to the cemetery and stuff like that. And we were just like, well, we can do that.
Yeah.
Gave us souvenirs. Cool, like I don't take anything for free. So I did, but he was going to give me all kinds of souvenirs and stuff like that. Those guys were super cool. I would hang out with them in real life any day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And here's the thing. Anyone that doesn't know, they're trying to restore the Wildwood. So if someone wants to donate money to the Wildwood, please do. That place
because they've done a ton of work. You know, the roof work that they've done is incredibly expensive.
Incredibly. I think I don't know. I'm not going to say how much because that's their private information.
Yeah,
but it was a lot.
Business. Yeah, I know because I've had it done on just a barn.
Yeah.
And they did more roof work than was on my barn. And my barn was probably about $8,000.
And think about it. It's a lot of money to do any kind of restoration on something that old. Because not only are you putting new in, but they got to fix some of the old that's already there.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you get a chance, if you can't make it, think about donating to them anyway, because this is a real historical site that they're doing great work to keep up. The town wanted to demolish it at one time.
Correct.
So they, like, in association with others, they saved that. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful plot in a beautiful location with like the Appalachian Mountains rising on all the sides of it. It's beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah, it was actually Lori, which is Zach's mother-in-law.
Okay.
She bought it originally. I did an interview with her and Brooke, who's the current owner. That's her daughter. Yeah. And amazing story of how it all happened. But yeah, definitely if you can donate some money there, it doesn't matter. If it's $5, whatever you got, donate
anything.
Yeah.
Like if you can't get there this year, you might want to in 5 years and you'll like it's
definitely go.
It's just like I would go there just to stay, honest.
Correct.
Like that's a nice place.
And don't get me wrong, the Hinsdale is amazing too.
Yeah.
They definitely also have fundraisers. Also, I'll mention Dan, who's the owner of the Hinsdale House. His daughter also has cancer, or she's going through treatments for cancer, and he's got a donation thing for that too. So
so please help them out.
Definitely help them out too. But anyway, at the Wildwood, when we were there, and where I was kind of going with a lot of this theory is like you and I, when we went, I remember what I say now. The room that was, if you remember, there's Tommy's room, then the stairway that I think they call it the library room, I think is what he called it. And then attached to the library room is the seance room.
Right.
He, not him, but somebody says something goes from the library room. It's typically there to Tommy's room.
Right. They also said though that Tommy is seen or experienced most frequently in his room or the basement. Now we didn't know exactly where, but if you leave the seance room into the room where they've got all the beautiful customized Ouija boards, there's a winding, super scary staircase that actually does go down to the basement from there. And I think we could trace with that meter all the way.
I bet. Yeah. Absolutely, I do bet. And that's why I'm a little bit excited. You know what? I didn't even think of that. We didn't have a camera coming from that.
Initially. We did move one of them.
Correct. At the end of the evening after something else happened, which we'll touch on a little bit. But anyway, what the theory is that something either came across from that other room, or mine and your theory is something could have came from that basement and then worked its way around, which means it would have been passing right by Jess the entire time.
Yeah. And additionally, let's give Jess a super thank you, because this would have been completely impossible.
Yes.
She was super pro at work in the command room, communicating with us on the walkies.
100%.
At the best thing that we got, which I don't know when or if we're even going to mention it, was
I think we can mention
strictly
it.
because of her. We got a chance to try and debunk it afterwards, and it would have been not as valuable without that. So thank you, Jess.
Absolutely. Thanks. Because again, I think going forward, no matter what happens, we have to have somebody on cameras all the time.
Yeah. And that's a good job for someone who don't necessarily want to go into basements or third floors.
Right. Exactly. It's funny though, and I think we can talk about it. We won't show any footage of it because y'all need to come back on Halloween.
Right.
But Nick and I decided to start our investigation in Tommy's room. So we end up going into Tommy's room, and I can't remember what was happening. You had to go get something.
What was it? We had left a device in the seance room, and I had to go grab that and come back and get that ready there. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
I'll know it once I go back and review the footage of it. But Nick had to go get something, so he left to go get it, and I set up the radiation meter because at this point I'm like, that's kind of the telltale for me.
Right.
Like EMF's cool. Radiation cooler.
Yeah.
That's how I think
so.
So I set up and nothing's happening. Like it's dead.
Right.
We end up putting the cat toy down. Nick comes in. He puts whatever it was down. It may have been the REM pod. I think it was a REM pod.
Yeah. And we also had the EMF pump in there too. Can't forget about that.
Yeah. The EMF pump was in there also. The one working one, because the other one got destroyed.
Yeah.
So we put the EMF pump down. We get it started. It's running. Still, the meter's not doing anything. On video, after Nick walks in, he sets something down. It may have been the REM pod. I can't remember what it was. It was something.
I think it was the REM pod.
He sets something down.
I go back to stand by the edge of the bed. So
right.
There was a little bit of time in between this.
Oh, yeah, because what's happening with me is I've got a face cam that's on me, and I'm trying to get the camera to turn around to where it's facing me because the camera was possessed. It kept going everywhere but where I needed it to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
not literally though. That was a setting you figured out later, I think.
I did figure it out later.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get it on me on the camera. I don't know how else to put it. From the doorway comes a black mass that passes right by Nick and goes right to my side.
Right.
Now I'm sitting on the bed. Nick is standing beside the bed. So whatever it was either came from that room or up the flight of stairs.
Right.
And
we don't see this
at all.
But what happens with us is all of a sudden, and I thought this alone was cool because I actually comment on it on the video. All of a sudden, the meter starts going real high. And like, I didn't know how high it normally goes until we investigate the rest of the place. Normally, it's much lower.
Right.
But it starts going real high.
We don't see whatever this was. And at this point, Jess didn't even mention it. So we're just watching the device and we're like, wow, look at okay, the meter's moving. And I'm showing Nick. But we're not necessarily too bought in on it just yet.
Right.
And we start asking questions because we're like, okay, what's your name? Are you from the house? What year is it?
And the light started going off
on the cat toy.
Right. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Because we had stomped and stuff and we couldn't get it to go. And I was like, I don't know if this is even on or.
Right. But again, everyone goes cat toys. Now, what was happening?
Right.
Radiation would go up, cat toy would go off.
Right.
And I'm like, to me, that's more than one source.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like the dead bell. The dead bell doesn't matter unless, in my opinion, the radiation's going off.
Yeah.
So if it's radiation, dead bell, something to it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If it's cat toy lights up, radiation goes up, something to it.
Yeah. And I thought at this point, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right.
Like this is more than you see on most of investigations. Like I'm like, this is cool because this is happening in conjunction. Something is happening. I didn't expect anything to happen the whole trip.
I thought we would get what everyone else might get, which is, oh, this one weird sound that could be them saying Jupiter and it, could be garbled mess. I thought it'd be something like that. And I'm like, I'll still make a video about it. It'll be fun and whatever, We're watching this toy light up, the radiation go off the hook, and then Jess comes across on the walkie-talkie.
Oh, this part I love.
What does she say, Nick?
She said, something just ran by your feet. And both of us were like, whose feet?
Whose feet?
Whose feet?
Yeah, we would take no chances, boys and girls. Listen, I want to know if it's is it mine, is it Nick's?
Looking around, I didn't see a thing. I'm like, oh, maybe a mouse went by or something like that.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, it could be anything.
Yeah, I'm still not freaked out. I mean, I'm freaked out in the way that I don't want mice and rats around my feet.
Right.
Which, by the way, let me bring this up now, even though it's interrupting the best story we've got. Out around the house, there was tons of insects and wildlife and stuff like that. Nothing, with even the front door open, nothing ever made a sound. There was no insects that came in the house. There was no insects you'd find in the house. Everything avoids this place like the plague somehow. But anyway, go on. That was just a little aside.
Which is, he's absolutely correct. There was multiple times that there should have been insects in the house. None.
They won't go near it.
Would not go inside the house, which is weird because the Hinsdale, they talk about all the insects that's in there because of whatever's there. The Wildwood, for me, complete polar opposite.
Yeah, you don't even hear things like snapping in the walls at night or anything like that.
No.
Like it's, but anyway, so we're like, whose feet? And I'm like looking around, moving my feet, trying to look for like an animal or something like that. I imagine Bert was probably doing the same.
Well, I was assuming that she just saw, like, how sometimes, especially when you got infrared lighting.
Right.
And everyone has to understand, the camera had an infrared light. I had a vest that had a camera with an infrared light. And then I had an actual infrared light.
Right.
That was, so depending on how I move my body, it can cause some weird effects that can happen. And you'll see it in the video. Right. That we're going to release. You're going to be like, what is this thing over here? And I'd be the first one to tell you that's just where I probably move my body a little bit in my infrared light. caused a difference in some things.
Mm-hmm.
But after that happened, I'm like, okay, well, let's call it. At this point in time, it kind of slowed down. The meter wasn't popping off the same. I'm like, let's just go in there and then we'll figure out the next location to go. And we get in there and we both kind of sit down and Jess is like, are y'all not gonna like check that? And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Let me pull it up. Let me see what it is.
Yeah. I still wasn't really paying attention. I was sitting across the table.
For me, it was like, it could be anything because everyone has to understand Jess is new to paranormal like this. Like she's heard the stories. Obviously, she's married to me. She hears them all. But it's different when it's you that experiences something. So my thought is, it could have been anything. Could have been like the IR light.
Right.
Could have been, something that just reflected wrong and it caused like a thing. Because she said it was a shadow. And I'm like, all right, well, it could be any of those things. So I'm pulling up the footage on my phone and I've got it up. And a shadow comes from the outside of the room. I just got
chills.
Just thinking about it, right?
Because I'm remembering this. Yeah.
There's a shadow that comes from the outside of camera view past Nick and right by my side. And I look at it and I can't repeat exactly what I said. And if I use it on video, I'll probably have to bleep it out. But it was so shocking to me because it was so clear. It was so defined.
I caught it across the table in the corner of my eye and I was just like, oh, no.
Yes.
So calling it a shadow it's the description you want to use, but it's not. Because, and I've seen something like this once before, also in New York, actually New Jersey, when I was here like more than a decade ago. But it's not a shadow because the shadow projects onto a surface. Right. So like if this is the wall and my thumb's the floor, a shadow will be projected across the floor, up the wall. Yes. This is as if there's something else here. Right. Like it's a shadow. It's just all dark. It's not projected on things.
So here's a great example. If you look at a Viewmaster, right, there's light coming through the Viewmaster. If you don't have one of those things in there, you don't see anything but bright light. When you put the sleeve in, now you're seeing an image that's overlaid over that white light. The shadow thing we're talking about is almost like an overlay that's between you and the object that is supposed to be there.
That a normal shadow would project onto. This occupies its own space. Correct. Is the thing. Yeah.
Correct. We watch then. I can't believe I'm saying this. We watch it go from me, the side of me. You almost see it almost, and I'm going to have to get up on a big screen and look at it a little bit more, but it appears to stand up beside me. So I'm sitting on a bed. With me sitting on a bed, it's about my height. Right. And then it darts across the room to, there's like this puppet stand thing where you do like puppet
shows.
It's
like a stage for Punch and Judy puppets kind of thing.
Yes, that's perfect description. Exactly. It goes to the side of that and you can watch it standing beside it. And then it zooms back from there, back to my side.
Yeah. It's almost like it was looking at the different things that we had there. Right. And I think that's what set off the lights and stuff.
Now, the other amazing thing is, as it's doing this, our radiation detector goes through the roof.
Right.
So it's like,
we were commenting on the things that were happening
because the cat light was also going off.
Right.
So we're commenting. And at that point, I think I was talking about the recorder that was in there. And I'm like, hey, Tommy, because this is supposedly Tommy's room. Tommy was a little boy that had lived there and he drowned. And they say his spirit comes back waiting for his mom. That's the story. It's a great story. I'm not saying that's who this was or what this was or any of that. But you legit see the cat ball lighting up. Now it's in black and white because it's literally night vision. It's infrared. Right. But you see this ball lighting up. The radiation device is going crazy and you're watching this thing dart across the room in the course of maybe 5 or 6 seconds.
Now, I felt like in its different passages, you can make it a clear outline of what it is. And like, to me, it looked exactly like, you know, how kids have the little bodies and like the bigger heads and stuff like that. That's what I was seeing. And I saw that out of the corner of my eye and I'm like, you got to play that again.
Right. And we ended up watching it a few times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we went and tried to debunk it, and we could not debunk it. No matter what we did, we could not debunk it. We tried so hard because we really did want to say, okay, like, here's the thing I never want to do. I never want to put something out and go, we caught this ghost. And then someone debunks it within 5 seconds. And but again, without Jess being there and watching it on camera, we would have never had an opportunity to even try to debunk it.
Yeah. So that's how that's super helpful. So, I mean, I don't know how many of our viewers maybe have played the game Phasmophobia. That's kind of how that's set up. And I think that's a necessity. They got that right.
They got that right. That needs to be something. But it's like Zach was telling us, a lot of people comes in, they don't even have high-tech equipment.
Right.
So it's like they're getting stuff, and it's like, who really knows what's happening at that point? If we didn't have all that equipment, we would have never known.
Well, like a lot of things, even you see on TV, they don't have a lot of this stuff. So, anyway, so sorry, one of my lights just did something. But anyway, like they get readings on their EMF detectors, or they, you know, get stuff on a spirit box or that kind of thing, but they're not seeing what's going on around them necessarily.
Right.
Like,
now think about if they had IR cameras, they may have seen the same thing we did.
Maybe. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'll be honest with all of you. The thing you have to remember is in all the years of watching ghost videos, I've never seen what we have as a legit thing. I've never seen that.
No, I don't think I have either.
Whether it's a TV show for a, you know, you got to figure they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in production. And I've not seen something as amazing as what we have, which is extremely weird to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with these lights here.
I know what it is, Nick.
Nah, I'm not jumping to that. I think it's just I didn't charge them properly.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on over there, folks.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We're going to have to send some ghost hunting equipment to Nick.
Yeah, maybe so. I've got some stuff I can use. Plus, we're recording. Oh, my goodness. I'm tempted to turn that one off.
Need to set up some IR cams in Nick's room right now.
Yeah, I know. But anywho,
it was quite surprising to see what we got. So we went in, tried to debunk it, could not debunk it to save our lives. And we actually tried the stairway, couldn't get anything in the stairway.
No,
couldn't really get
really spooky. So I was expecting it.
Looks super spooky.
All right, we're gonna have to put up with this. I'm sorry.
We tried the doll room. You guys said you saw what you thought was the cat ball move. So I'm super curious when I go back to watch footage.
Both of us said that.
But see, that for me, I didn't see that. So I'd be curious to go back to the footage and see if I can see that happen.
Yeah.
And if it does happen, that's cool. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, I would have just assumed I was imagining it if Jess didn't also say that. So.
Right. In which you both did say it. I didn't see it move, but again, I wasn't looking at it the entire time either. So
right.
But for all intents and purposes, maybe something happened there, maybe not. And then we went to the basement.
Yeah.
And the basement gave me the chilly willies, as I like to put it.
Well, I think when you have a basement where you have tubs where you electrocute people, there's bound to be some strong emotions that might reside after that.
Might be some things happening there.
Might be.
Now, we get down there and we got these headlamps on. And with these headlamps, we're kind of looking around. I've got my night vision camera that I'm kind of shooting around. We got the still cam in there. I'm implementing the bell at this point. We got the radiation meter. We got the cassette recorder. I've got another recorder in there. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was overkill. I had Polaroid camera down there. There was all kinds of stuff going on. And If you remember when we first got there down there, that radiation meter was not moving at all.
No,
it
was
moved
not.
once, but it was because I had it too close to my cell phone and I go, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. And I ended up putting the radiation thing on the next seat beside me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it starts to raise.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay, that's wild. And it kept raising. And then all of a sudden the bell rang. Bing.
Right.
And then a little bit more goes on. We're asking questions. Radiation would go up. The bell would go bing. So that's why I'm surprised you didn't believe in the bell so much, because it did not go up until that radiation meter went up also.
Right. Now, I can believe in that. It's the thing about the bell, I guess, is just that, number one, I don't know what's happening in the thing below it. But also they don't seem to want to obey commands. Like we can't say, ring it now. Now at the Hinsdale, you were able to do that.
Right.
Here, they weren't ever following any of our commands.
Well, I think what happens, because again, it's not like they're ringing the bell. They're just coming into proximity. So what that dead bell does is it creates, much like a REM pod, a circle of its own, like think of it like a force field, right?
Right.
But it's an electromagnetic force field. And once that force field is broken, it rings the bell.
So now sometimes though they use that to communicate. But now if this is a small child, Tommy, he might not figure out that I have to move into this field to ring it and move out, that kind of thing. So maybe that's why we couldn't say, but then again, living people won't follow commands.
Sure.
Why would
it's not a pet?
People? Right. Exactly.
The other thing that I thought about is, if you remember, the radiation meter was going up and then it was ringing. I'm curious if it was just coming closer to us to see what's happening. Now, the other thing you got to remember is, remember how that bell was going nuts as you was walking, you was carrying it, you was walking? You were breaking the electrical magnetic field at that point. And that's why I go, it was nonstop as you was carrying it. Once you put it down and you moved away, it didn't really do that anymore.
No, except when I left, it did do it once more, but that would have been unrelated.
Correct. But then it didn't do it anymore. You walked all the way back to your seat. It never went off a single time after that.
Right. Now, there was an experience that I think that both, and you might correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be remembering this wrong, that both you and Jess saw it while we were in the basement that I didn't see, that I wish I had, because it sounded horrifying.
Yeah, it was horrifying. So Nick went and moved that bell to the other side of the room. And I'm sitting there. Now, Nick came up with this genius idea, and I'm blaming Nick, because Jess is like, I think I see something on that other side, blah, 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 blah. Right. And Nick's like, well, let's turn our lights off. And I'm like, I don't like that idea, because I can't see nothing.
It's extra spooky. I'm there to be spooked, man.
Man, listen, I'm there to be spooked, not to that degree, okay? I don't watch horror movies like that. If you want to recreate The Conjuring, that's on you. I don't want
to. You're talking to the guy who spent the night in the doll room. Objectively voted by my Instagram people as the spookiest room.
Well, it's funny because as soon as Nick told me that's where he's sleeping, I'm like, this guy is a wackadoodle, because there ain't enough money for me to go in there.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's only one thing that scares me, though. Do you remember my catchphrase pretty much the whole trip?
What?
Oh, no, a recluse.
Oh, yeah, the recluse. I got recluse in there.
I was just scared of brown recluse spiders, but I looked it up later and they're not even there. So
that's funny, though. So we're sitting in this basement. Nick comes up with this genius idea of, let's just turn the lights out. So the only light we had was those green lasers going across the room. And for anyone that doesn't know, as it gets darker, your eyes start to adjust, and now you can kind of start to make out figures. My eyes had just kind of adjusted, and I'm sitting there, and the way it works is I'm staring straight ahead, because I'm like, I can kind of see there was a bike that was in front of me. I could kind of see an outline of a bike, but out the corner of my eye, I see something almost go like this.
From the room I just came in, or was that the other way?
So it was the door you walk through.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
But I wasn't staring at that door. I was staring at, there was almost like another doorway over there.
Right.
And there was a little bit of light that was trickling from the doorway over there. So I was looking at that because I'm like, if anything comes into that view, I'm going to see what it is. And it's like the only lit area, halfway lit. It's not even lit, but I'd be able to see a definition of something. So I'm like, if anything comes into that light, I'm going to see it. But at the corner of my eye, there's a doorway and it's like the two sets like fingers. And then it's almost like a little head peeps through and then peeps back. And I legit tell Nick, I'm like, I think I see something over there on the left. It wasn't 2 seconds later, Jess pops on the walkie-talkie and goes, I think I see somebody on the other side of that doorway. So
yeah, I had wondered if I remembered that right.
Instant validation that I had saw something.
Yeah. Now it occurs to me now, there's a very good reason why I would have not seen something that you might have, because you just mentioned that your eyes had started to adjust to the dark. When I came back through, I had lasers in my eyeballs.
Oh.
And then when I sat down, I didn't see what either of you saw.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, too, it's interesting that Jess said that because Jess can't hear us unless we talk into the walkie.
Right.
So
that's something I should mention because our cameras do pick up audio, but the device, the DVR, does not have headphone jacks. Right. So the only communication was through a walkie-talkie. That's the only way we would have been able to communicate with each other.
Right. And that was 2 floors away in a solidly constructed hardwood house. So it's not like Bert was yelling, oh my God, I see something. It was just like, do you see something over there?
In fact, I said it relatively low because I'm just trying to let Nick know. For whatever reason, I'm like, if I don't say this real loud, whatever this isn't going to hear it either.
Yeah.
But I tell Nick, I can't remember my exact words. I think I said something along the lines of, I think I see something over there. Yeah, something's over there. I feel like I think I see something over there. Or I may have said something. I can't remember. I said something along that lines. And it was maybe a second or two later. Jess over the walkie-talkie said almost the same exact thing. And I told Nick, I'm like, validation.
Right. So all I was seeing was like almost like a black sheet because my eyes weren't adjusted. And then I'd see the green dots on the wall. But, that's probably why I couldn't see anything.
Which makes perfect sense.
And it was tall, so it wasn't Tommy.
It was not Tommy. Like the way that I saw it, this would have been probably like, I say adult male. I mean, I don't know that it was male. I don't know what it was. But like, I would assume it'd be someone like my height or your height. But when I saw that, I go, wow, okay, that's kind of creepy. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, all right, it's a little distance, but it's closer to me than Nick. And I don't got nowhere to run.
That's right. I'm not very fast anyway. So, don't worry.
So,
but when you said it, I thought maybe, it was just a trick of the eye. But when it came across on the walkie, I was like, uh-oh. What's that? What's that? That meme from The Simpsons where Ralph's like, "I'm in danger."
Exactly what it was. It's funny because once she said that, for me, it's like because you sit there and you think to yourself, maybe it's just me,
right?
But I got in trouble in the other room because when we was in Tommy's room, my left-hand side felt a little cold.
That's right. Yeah,
and I didn't say anything because I didn't want. Here was my thing. This was my logic.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, I think the left-hand side of my body is cold. The only time you ever hear that.
We need to get you to a hospital. Right?
But a lot of times when that happens, it means that there's something manifesting or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to put that in your or Jess's mind so that you see something you don't see.
Yeah. And that was smart. I think that was a good decision either way.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to influence people.
I didn't want to influence anything. I wanted the experience to be whatever the experience was.
Yeah.
And then when I told everyone, I'm like, I felt like it was a little bit colder on that side, which would have been the side he was standing on.
Right.
And then you guys was like, you need to say something because, and I'm like, all right. So.
Yeah. I agree with you now, but at the time, emotions were a little high because you have to understand this was the part of the trip where I went from being like, it's cool to hang out with one of my best friends in a spooky location and we're doing investigations. This is fun, but I'm not going to see anything to, oh, this is real and this is a potentially dangerous situation.
Right.
So that's how things change there. That's when the trip changed. I still had fun. Like I can be in danger and have fun.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, this could become a thing.
Yeah. Like you don't know what's truly there. You don't know if it's
Right.
some kid, if it's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just us being weird? Like you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So for us to have that moment.
Right. Yeah, that's it. It changed the whole tone after that. And there's also something about if someone tells you that this is the stairway in the third floor, if someone specifically tells you this is where you're going to experience something, to me, it's kind of good if you don't and your meters don't go off, because then you're like, I'm not just making something happen because I'm expecting it.
Right.
So there was a lot of flipped expectations in this, because I'm not kidding. I expected nothing, really.
Well, and it's like a prime example is if we were in that room and the only thing that happened was the cat ball, the lights went off, I just said, might be something, might not.
Yeah, exactly.
If we were in that room and the radiation device, the meter just went off, I would have said, might be paranormal, might not.
Right. Well, I said at that point when both of them were happening, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's got to be something to it, right?
Right.
When we were downstairs, when the radiation device went off, and then when the bell started ringing, I go, something to it. It's more than one thing happening in conjunction. We're not talking about the bell rang and then 5 minutes later, the radiation device went off. We're talking radiation
you can
or
time
bell.
These things.
You could time. There was literally like, it's like whatever it was stepping into that realm, almost like I just thought of that. If the radiation device and the bell was going off at the same time, the only way that would have happened is it would have had to be between the two.
Right. Right.
Which means it was standing in front of us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that didn't occur to me.
Because remember, that radiation device was here.
Right.
And that bell was all the way over there.
Well, listen to this too. So the bell did ring a couple times when we were in the room.
Right.
And then I said, I'm going to move it to the other room. So I take it with me. It's ringing because I'm holding it.
Right.
I let it go and I step off to the side for a little bit. And, like a minute later, it rings again.
Right.
I come back through with the lights shining in my eyes. And as I come back through, something comes out from the side.
I didn't even piece that together. To just now. I didn't piece that together till just right now.
Me either. Oh, that's weird. So that
think about it.
Could have like followed me in there and then was like looking back out when I came back through.
Correct.
And it stopped because you
acknowledged
said about it. Yeah.
It was like that EMF or the voice box here, the honeytone.
Right.
It was talking about me. And the moment that we acknowledged it, nothing.
Yeah. Couldn't get it to do it again. Yeah.
Or since.
I think it's a weird feeling we have about the supernatural that we're always like, it wants to communicate with us.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. So. I don't think it always does.
I don't think it does. I think in Tommy's room, it did.
I think in Tommy's room, it ran in the door and was touching all the new stuff in its room.
Yes.
And I don't think it could have cared less.
Yeah.
If we were, because we were saying, do you want this stuff? All you got to do is this. And it's just like, nah. But he had already left at that point anyway. So.
I just thought of something else.
What's that?
If you go back and watch that video, the radiation device was going off when that cat ball was triggering.
Right.
Because we're like, wow, look at that. They're both happening at the same time.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, when it went through the room, it buzzed between when it passed you, the radiation device went off, and then it stops. It would have stopped when it was standing beside me.
Right.
So it was just far enough out of the range. But every time the cat ball would go off, it'd go off. So again, it was leaving my side and going to that cat ball, which was causing that radiation device to go off.
Yeah.
And then if it would go back, it would turn off. When it went to go to that whatever that puppet thing was, it triggered then too. So it passed by me, would have hit that radiation field,
Right.
triggered it because it stopped when it got to the other side or near there. And then when it went back, it stopped again.
Yeah. And you could see in the video, it's weaving around things to open space. So it's not like there's some intelligence behind that, I felt like.
Absolutely.
But whether it cared to talk to us or could even hear us, or if it was just seeing new things in its environment, I don't know.
That's why I'm dying to check out the EVPs, but I can't do it until I get everything downloaded and encrypted.
Right. Yeah.
Or unencrypted, should I say. Well, we talked about how long it's going to take to get this footage out. And I underestimated a few things. The first thing is the way those security cams work. And I didn't know any of this. I didn't know this until I started doing it. It records things at a very weird dimension. And it's not a constant bit rate that it does all this stuff in. So what ends up happening is when you download that information down, a lot of editing software cannot read it. So you then have to convert that file. So you have to remember, I've got 8 cams, 7 cams at the Hinsdale, 8 at the Wildwood, 8 cams at the Wildwood. I have to download all of the video file and by the way, I checked the Hinsdale House because I've got all of cam 1 encrypted and downloaded and set as its own file. 15 hours.
Oh man, that's a lot of footage.
So 15 hours on cam 1. So we got cam 1 through cam 7. That's 7 cameras at roughly 15 hours each. Body cam footage, my face cam footage that I used for other purposes.
Right.
Then there is a little bit of the other camera footage that I used. So there was a lot of different video footage. And then we're going to duplicate that even longer at the Wildwood because we was at the Wildwood at 3 and we probably have everything set up by probably 4.
Yeah.
So from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So 4 to midnight, there's 8 hours.
Right.
And then midnight to 9 o'clock, that's 9.
Yeah.
17 hours of footage.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
8 video recordings, not including your body cam.
Correct. So for everyone that doesn't understand, I started encoding when I got home yesterday. I downloaded all my cameras for day 1. I started encoding this morning before I left for work. When I came back home, camera 1 was encoded for day 1. We're not even talking day 2. We're talking day 1. Before I started dinner tonight or trying to set up everything and then Jess made dinner, I started encoding camera 2. When I came downstairs, there was 104 different files that had to be basically recreated through their encoding. When I came downstairs, there was still 55 left, and that was about an hour and a half.
Right.
So in an hour and a half, it basically did 45 plus 49. So it took an hour and a half to do 49 files.
Right.
So, and everyone's like, okay, well, those are files, not all cameras are going to have those files. And you're right. But the time period is going to be the same because even though there's less files, they're longer files.
Yeah, it's the same amount of footage. Like that's what you have to look at.
So you got to figure if it's an hour and a half and that's maybe a little bit less than half, then each one's probably going to be about 3 hours and 10 minutes per camera per day. So that's 6 hours just to encode 2 cameras per day. So it's probably going to take me 4 days just to encode all the videos to then start going through.
Yeah, because we don't know what's on that.
We have no clue. No clue. And then I got to review.
Monsters picking on us while we're sleeping and stuff like that.
Could be. Absolutely could be. Another thing I should mention. A lot of people's going to be upset about the Hinsdale House a little bit. And the reason I say that is Nick wasn't there. So it wasn't properly handled. We got a lot of really cool stuff, but I'll be honest, the first night, because you got to, everyone has to understand, Jess is relatively new to a lot of this.
Mm.
And she had never experienced anything paranormal before.
Right.
I think it was like midnight. And what I was going to do is I was going to go upstairs and investigate the entire upstairs. About midnight, Jess falls asleep on the couch. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. She'll go to sleep. I'll go upstairs. You can literally hear everything that's happening.
Right.
I'm downloading files from my body cam because what I wanted to do was make sure all those were safe on the hard drive. And all of a sudden, all I hear is, and I look over and I'm like, what? And Jess's eyes are as big as saucers. And she's staring. And I said, what? And she goes, wait. I'm like, okay, if this is Jason Voorhees, because there's literally a pond right behind us. We're all dead because she's not telling me what's going on. And she goes, I just saw something peeking through the door at us.
Ooh.
And it freaked her out, and rightfully so.
Of course it would. It would freak anyone out.
Yeah. I can't remember. She either fell asleep or she's on her phone. I can't remember. But either way, I was downloading files. I saw how freaked out she was. And I'm like, I can't leave her downstairs by herself when she just saw something peeking and go investigate upstairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to have to just let whatever happens upstairs happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, no one can expect anything else from you. You can't leave people who are scared to their own devices. It's not, people don't make good decisions and stuff like that.
And it's not even that. And we've talked about this before. Whatever it is feeds off of fear.
Right.
So if it is an evil entity, let's just say, I'm not saying it is, but let's say it was, and it's feeding off of her fear. Now she's even more scared because the only other person in this house is now upstairs in a place that's supposedly more haunted than downstairs.
Right.
But she's already seen something peeking through the doorway that's just on the other side of the kitchen. Now, to be fair, so everyone understands, I had a camera in that room facing that doorway.
Right.
So which was Mike's room for anyone that knows the residence, but if anything peeked through that doorway, I had a perfect camera shot of what it would have been.
Oh, I'm interested to see if there's anything on there.
I'm dying to know because I know the exact timestamp now.
Oh, nice.
Because I saw it in the main camera one. I saw it, and then in Premiere, because I download all the files, I put a marker, because what my goal is in Premiere is I'm going to put my body cam first and then run the file all the way through. And from the time I set up cam one and it comes online, I'm going to line that up perfectly with my body cam.
Okay.
And then cam two, I'm going to line that up exactly. And I'm just going to keep feeding all those different videos together, perfectly time-stamped. So when I'm talking, they all line up. And then I'm going to be able to look from any one of those camera views to switch between the camera view that I want at that point in time when I'm creating that video.
That's a good idea.
So that's the game plan. But when she gasped, I'm like, whatever's upstairs is going to have to be upstairs, and hopefully it gets caught on static cam, because I don't want to leave her right now if she's not feeling right, and we're the only two in this house.
Yeah. Thanks, Delta, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, Delta.
This is your fault, Delta Airlines.
But if like both of us was there, I would have said, hey, do you want to go investigate that, or do you want me to? Someone just stay here with her so she doesn't.
I wouldn't have even heard you. You'd just see my butt going up the stairs. I'd be like, I'm on it.
Correct.
I got no self-preservation at all when it comes to going into different rooms in a haunted house. No,
There's a couple times Nick was like, hey, let's go do this. I'm like, man, hold on now. Let's think about this a little bit.
It's like, if you need to do something down in the basement or the third floor, like, I'm your guy. I'm like, this is what happens. Something cool happens, and that's awesome. Or something bad happens, and I don't have to think about it because something bad happened.
Right. That's true.
So,
that's a way to look at it.
Truly bad things are very brief.
That is true too. Listen, you're
Mhm.
right. But me, yeah, I try to think of things a little bit more strategic. Like Nick's just like after that thing happened with the shadows, Nick's like, hold on, let me go look at this. And he goes in there. I'm like, no, hold on, we just saw a shadow person.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a little crazy. It's fine. Thank
You
goodness.
know what? I'm cool with that. That's my role. I'm the guy who's going to run into the danger, and that way you guys can get away if you have to.
That's true. To be
If you hear
fair,
a splatter, you'll know that you got to run.
that is a good way to know you run. I've heard that enough time in horror movies. Trust and believe. To be fair, I've sent our footage to experts in the field that I know personally,
which I'm pretty excited about.
I really wanted to get their take. And I've heard back from a couple, and what everyone's basically gotten to the point of is probably not fake, in which we were there. We know it's not fake, but it's good when we hear them say it.
Hear it from other people.
Right.
Like we know it's not, but if everyone else thinks it is, it's no good.
Yeah, so. It doesn't even matter. Now, to be fair, if someone said it's fake, I can say, here's the DVR box.
Right.
How did I fake it on a DVR box?
Yeah. That's hard to do in real time on a DVR box.
Yeah, this is the CGI is post-production.
Right.
I wasn't in there making hand puppets of whatever this is. You know? So clearly there's something to it. I don't know. This experience has really opened my eyes because I've always considered myself relatively sensitive to this kind of stuff. I didn't feel anything in either location that was alarming.
No, I am not sensitive. Like I've not got a psychic bone in my darn body.
Yeah.
I can't even predict things that normal people can predict. So I didn't get any creepy feelings about anything. Like it was pure excitement until the thing in Tommy's room. And then it was excitement with a little bit of trepidation. Like I'm like,
yeah,
I got to be a little on guard because something could happen now.
Right. And here's the other thing is we talked to someone who had just investigated the night before. And I talked to him before we got there. I'm like, hey, how'd everything go? And he said, everything went well, except for the fact that I was pushed down a stairway.
Right.
So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, these things can push you down stairways. That's not a good combo. Stairways. I've watched enough Rescue 911 back in my day to know the elderly folk like myself, when you drop down a stairway, you're probably breaking a hip. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I've purposely surrounded myself in fat padding.
That's smart.
So I'll just bounce like a gummy bear if I get pushed down the stairs. It'll be fine.
I mean, let's be honest. You saw I had a little bit of airbag deployment too. So we both probably would have been safe. You know?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
But I don't know. Interesting trip. I truly do believe without a shadow of a doubt that I will find more stuff that I don't even know exists.
I think so. And I also think that if you don't, what we have already seen is more than I expected to experience in my lifetime.
Here's the thing. What we've already experienced and what we already have is the best evidence I've seen so far from anybody, including TV production crews. The closest I can come up to is there was a Ghost Hunters episode where they were at a prison and very similar. It's like a shadow transparent man runs to the camera and then almost runs backwards out of the camera.
Right.
And I'm like, that you can legit see the figure of something. And that's the only time I've seen something even remotely close to what we have.
Yeah, and I feel like this blows that out of the water.
I feel like it blows that. And mostly because back then their cameras were really old.
Right.
That was a very dusty scene and there was a lot of grain in it.
Yeah.
Ours, folks, is crystal clear.
Yeah, those cameras do a really good job.
They did such a good job. Dude, I was so excited when I saw how good of a job they did. Where did I put? Oh, I put my phone beside me. I'm not going to show you the video, but I'll show you how clear the camera is.
Mm.
You guys got to wait for the actual videos till Halloween. Y'all don't have too long to wait because listen, Halloween's right around the corner.
Yeah, we're not. We typically do like viewer or listener stories, but this is like, I think you'll all enjoy this even more.
So to be fair, this is the actual video that's not playing, but this is how crystal clear that video is. I mean, like you can't get much more crystal clear than that video.
So if you're just listening, pop over to YouTube and you'll see how clear this is. Like it's very clear.
I'm zooming in behind Nick at this little play area that I'm talking about. Look how crystal clear that is.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, that's zoomed in.
You can read the numbers as if there's not even a pixelation on them. So
correct. And that's really zoomed in because that's the same image. And you can see how far I zoomed in that video. So our video is crystal clear and you see something go past Nick to my side. You see it get up and you see it move across. But the most important thing is there's the validation of the radar, the cat toy going off. There's all these different things that's occurring.
Mm-hmm.
And again, by themselves, not impressive.
Right.
But in conjunction, impressive. Just my opinion.
Mine too. I can't wait till y'all see it.
I can't wait. I literally can't wait. I can't wait to dig into some of this stuff and see what's there.
There is one experience I want to bring up that was very exciting before we do anything else or before we end or whatever.
Yep.
I got to talk to a celebrity during the trip. It is someone I'm been a big fan of for a couple of years now. Bert's mom. Got to talk to her on the phone.
That is true.
I was a little nervous because I was like, I can't say anything makes her not like me anymore. But I was real excited to talk to her. So that was a cool experience for me. I just wanted to mention that.
The sad part was we was going through the Appalachian Mountains.
I know.
And we kept dropping the signal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ma.
Yeah. Very exciting for me, though. So, hi.
Yeah, it was I was like, man, who did Nick meet? I'm super excited to hear about that. I didn't even know it.
That's your mom.
That's just my mom. Whatever.
You don't say just. She wanted to go with us, and I think she should have come.
Here we go. You're going to get me in trouble, you butthole.
I am, on purpose.
She already yelled at me today about it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, because I called her. I called her, and she goes, if you don't take me next time, I'll never forgive you. But I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm sorry.
We're going to have a big group next time, I think. All generations of your family.
No doubt, man. It is nuts. But anyway, what do y'all say in the comments down below? Tell us, are you excited about this upcoming video? Do you believe in the paranormal? Do you believe in ghosts? Because if not, I want to know. I want to know. Yeah. Everyone that says they don't believe, I want them to put it now. Mm-hmm. And then when we drop that episode, I want you to come back to this video or to the audio, wherever you're listening. And then tell me after watching the video in this one, come all the way back to this video and tell me if it changed your mind. Because I believe without a shadow of a doubt, if you don't believe, there's no way that you can't believe after.
Yeah. Let's make a bet. I'm going to make a bet. If you watch the Halloween episode and you come back to this video afterwards and you're even a little less skeptical than you were before, even a little less skeptical, you have to donate to Hinsdale and Wildwood.
That's fair. That's fair. Because listen, if we want to preserve places like this, they have to have donations. They have to.
Yep. And I think that's a good deal to make. If you see any of this footage and it even makes you wonder, you should consider donating.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, not to us. We don't need your money.
We don't need your money.
Send it to them. Don't send it to us and ask us to send it to them.
Yeah.
Send it to them.
Because it's not happening.
Yeah. We're not bankers.
Because I'll forget. I will forget. But now it's time for everyone's favorite part. Now, there's a story behind this also. I was going through our local Meijer, and I was talking to Nick about this. I think it was 2 weeks ago for you guys. But I said, hey, I saw these things. And he's like, oh, those other things are really expensive right now. If that's what it is, blah, blah, blah. So I go back and I take a picture and I sent to Nick and I'm like, hey, this is what it is. He goes, oh, I've never seen those. I didn't even know those existed.
Here it comes.
So I bought 2 for me and 2 for Nick. So this episode, we're going to open one. Now, to be fair, this has the Bride of Frankenstein, Nick's favorite, which is Megan, Bride of Chucky, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Halloween 2, Child's Play 2, It or The Nun.
These feel hefty. There's something.
They feel hefty.
Here. Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You going to open yours first?
No, I'll let you go first. I'm going to just get it ready because if it requires a fancy knife, I ain't got that, as you recall.
So I told you I always have my knife on me. I actually don't have it this time, so I'm ripping into this thing like an animal.
I know, that's sort of what's happened to me now. Now another one of my lights is doing that. Which, by the way, there was no blessing as we left.
So it's funny. Jess and I were in the car. I might as well tell this story. We were in the car, and I have holy water that was blessed from the Jordan River. And I blessed myself. Jess blessed herself. And then Nick didn't want to.
No.
And I think that's what happened. There's mine. What if I got Megan, Nick? Will you be upset?
That'd be cool. I don't know. I'd be happy for you. I mean, Megan's not my favorite movie of all time, but it's really cool.
And it is
Chucky.
Child's Play 2.
That's right.
Dude, this is hefty.
Is there a little base in there or something, or is it just a piece of plastic?
Just piece of plastic.
Ah, that's what that is. Okay. All right. Here we go. Gosh darn it.
I just now noticed also in Chucky's eyes. I'm trying to get the light on here. In Chucky's eyes, you can kind of see the pupils is of somebody else. So he's getting ready to murder somebody else. Yeah.
Oh, this is super cool.
What did you get?
Oh, it's the eyes are the same on this one. The Nun.
Oh, look at that. That is so cool.
That is cool. The eye thing is wicked.
It's wicked.
I love it. Yes.
That is like
Thank
so
you very
cool.
much for this. This is so cool. These are hefty.
Oh, they've got serial numbers on the bottom.
Oh, they sure do. Nice.
This is really well made, by the way.
Yeah, these are like those other ones I have are pretty solid too, but this beats that for sure.
And mine stands up perfectly.
Yeah, mine too.
They're called
So
Tiny
cool.
Nightmares for anyone that might want to see it.
Yeah.
And it's got the different ones on the back that you can get. And then on the front, it just says Terrifying Eyes. I didn't even notice that when I bought it. Collectible figures, figurine A. And then it talks about collect them all.
That's so cool.
So cool. It's probably one of my favorite ones. And so we still got one more left. We're going to open this up on the next one, but
Yeah.
super excited about that. I can't wait till we open it because it's really cool.
Know. This is definitely my favorite segment.
Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed the podcast. Wherever you're listening, if you can give us a rating, we would definitely appreciate it. Also, if you could leave a comment in the comments down below, because that's how people find us, because then that platform goes, oh, these guys are cool enough to leave comments.
Heck yeah. And we are.
But hopefully y'all enjoyed it until we see you in the next podcast. Goodbye.
I love America. Thanks for having me.